Hey, Coach. When you look over the stat sheet, one glaring issue is the free throw shooting. Right? 10 for 21 for 47%. I can imagine as a head coach that drives you crazy. Do you think it's simply a lack of focus? What do you think is the root of the issue?
Well, I think it is focus. We work on free throws every day, but it's not in the arena. The arena on game days earlier, guys get free throws in. You just got to lock in. There's no crowd. So to me, it should be easier for you to knock down free throws, but we're just not doing that right now.
Terry? You're muted, Terry.
Coach, the difference in the game, the last 10 minutes, they outscored you 25-14 down the stretch. And at one point with 5 minutes left, I saw you standing on the bench. What's your frustration from that last 10 minutes and not playing a complete game?
First of all, we got another technical up 6 with the momentum. That's I've told those guys plenty of times, man, they're too emotional. Way too emotional, man. They cry way too much when a referee doesn't call. And there's nothing that you can do about the call. But my frustration is everything that they did tonight, we were prepared for. I mean, we knew from number 11 just being a driver, not a three-point shooter. We knew 32 was a drop-dead shooter that we didn't want to leave. And, man, it's just, I don't know, it's really baffling to go in the game understanding what's there and not be able to close the deal at home.
Jason?
Hey, Penny, how did the team respond to you or to the loss? Like what's their, did they have any sort of reaction at all in the locker room to anything, or are they just kind of, are they speechless?
You know what? I really don't know, to be honest with you. To be very honest, I really just don't know what the reaction is. Half the guys might be upset, other guys, I don't know. I really don't.
Danielle?
Penny, is this something where you think you have to change how you're teaching things to them, or is it something where maybe the things that you're teaching, aka like the strategies that you're actually using, need to change?
Well, all we're saying is we're giving them the information of who's who, the scouting report of who can do what, and that's not the problem of our strategy as far as the game plan on what we're doing. It's just understanding personnel. That's been our biggest problem. It's not even a strategy, it's understanding personnel. We understand who's who. The strategy's still been the same. We got one of the best defensive teams in the country. It's just when it comes to attention to detail on personnel, guys are just losing sight of guys that they're not supposed to and closing out on guys that they're supposed to be waiting on in the paint. So, I mean, I have to take this as a coach, but I honestly think, Danielle, that it's not about changing what we do. It's just about understanding personnel.
Anthony?
Coach, what was your message to the team in the locker room after the game?
Attention to detail. And we watch film the day before, a couple days before. We watch personnel. We go over film before the game. We understand everything that they're going to do. Now, we're not expecting for them to learn their plays because the plays are just given like a couple days before. But the attention to detail on personnel is something that we talk about clearly so that guys know who's who. And that's the biggest thing that we do in shoot-around, man, and before the game. So we're more than prepared. It's just I don't know where the concentration goes once the game starts.
You've been a player before, so from that point of view, where does a disconnect like that come from practice to the game?
I think it's communication of five guys being together. I think we turn into individuals. If things aren't going our way offensively, we turn into being more about ourselves instead of being 5 individuals together. Because if they huddle, if they talk about things and stay in tune with what's going on at the moment, instead of worrying about the last shot that we missed or even the last defensive possession that we messed up on, if we correct it and put it into play the next time, then we'll be okay. It's just so much going on all at once.
Mike?
Penny, what is your level of frustration right now? Because it seems the message has been the same in the losses this year where the disconnect is there. So with the team doing it over and over again, what's your level of frustration with what's going on?
Well, I've been trusting guys to get out there and get it done. I've been playing a certain group. That group's just not getting it done. You know, and that's why I said it's my fault, because I've been begging players to do certain things and they're just not, they haven't been doing them. So, you know, as a coach, I'm waiting on those guys. I'm waiting. And then you gotta move on to the next person, man. It's just, we're trying to go small. And when we go small, man, we're not being successful. So I gotta stop trying to go small. That's been the biggest thing. Going small has really been hurting us because we haven't rebounded the ball. We're still not staying in front of our man. We're still miscommunicating on switches. So I have to keep Musa out there more, you know, not going small.
How concerned are you with this offense? Because no matter what you seem to try out of that first, except for that first 10 minutes against Tulane the other night, it seems you're having a hard time putting the ball in the basket.
Yeah, I mean, just open looks. I don't think anything's being contested. We're missing layups, free throws, and open jump shots. It's just a bad spell. That's why you got to make up for it on the defensive end. Right now, we're in a shooting slump as a full team, you know, and that's not good. So you got to make up for it somewhere else, and we've been good to do it in previous years with other teams, but this team has not been able to pull together if they're not making shots to go on the other end and then do the things that they need to do to win the game.
Terry?
Hey, Coach, Musa went out at 8:36 and didn't return. What's his status? And also, we noticed that Alex didn't play. And what about Malcolm?
Yeah, Alex has a thumb, a really bad thumb. The thumb is really swollen. Malcolm needed at least a week off because of sore knees. And Musa was perfectly healthy, man. I just went small. When he got his 5th turnover, I was like, the zone is giving him problems. I'm going to go small, and I should not have done that. I should have left him out there and allowed him to just continue to play. At least we have a rim protector and an inside presence. And that's what's been really going wrong. My decision-making on going small instead of just leaving Musa. When he's been struggling in the games, we pull him out and we try to go with a smaller lineup.
Last question, Jason.
Penny, how do you move on from this? You know, I mean, on a day when there was, you know, positive news from your perspective with the contract extension, and then struggling again tonight, how do you just move on? You know what I mean? How do you move on from this?
Man, we go to practice tomorrow. We understand what the problems are. I'm going to make the adjustments on the rotations, man, and just keep a big on the floor at all times. Keep a true big on the floor at all times, man, because like I said, when we go small, it's just not working for us. We're not going to play as many smalls. We're going to play the smalls that really want it. They're going to do the small things. We're not taking enough charges. We're not communicating enough. And in tomorrow's practice, it just is what it is. And just have to make those adjustments. And I'm sure everything is fixable that we have going on. Obviously, we can't shoot 10 for 21 from free throw every night. We can't shoot 5 from 22 from open threes every night. We got to establish the inside presence, man, and really just play from inside out and go from there, because what we've been doing just hasn't been working.